Okay, so I'm not sure if this is going to be worthy of an actual episode. If nothing else, I am documenting what I am doing. But this is the front of the house with the garage door open over there. And we've got this one big tree here. I'm trying to figure out how to do this without getting the sun just completely wiping it out. There we go, that's a little better. And maybe you can kind of see I've kind of started on the left and working my way around. This tree grows like a weed. It's amazing how fast it grows. And what I'm trying to do is ultimately cut it to be roughly the same shape and depth as uh, the wall here, the retaining wall, which also has a big crack in it. That's another thing for us to deal with. And all the succulents are growing a little bit crazy. That jade plant there needs to be scaled back even more than it is right now. Yesterday I was testing the sprinklers and there's one kind of buried in there. Let me see if I can get around. So you can kind of see there's a sprinkler buried in here. So I need to clear enough of this plant that the sprinkler can do its job. Then I got to clear the weeds back in there. So I'm basically just kind of starting on this corner of the house, this corner of the property rather, and I'm going to ultimately work my way around and get this all cleaned up and looking nice and neat. And then I got to deal with the beds down here, and maybe by the time I get here we'll be wanting to put down a little bit more mulch. And the other thing we're looking at, see, we've got this oh, I always get the name of this wrong, agave. We were calling it something else. Turns out I looked it up, it's actually agave. It's not the same one they make liquor out of, but oops, sorry about my finger there. I'm also still getting used to that. So we have this whole patch of agave here, and we got one of them that is sitting up on a rock for support, and that one I think is just sticking out a little bit too far now. So ultimately I'm going to take that and transplant it over to the other side yard, and just kind of clean out the area back here and let the other ones get bigger. Maybe even pull a couple of the small ones out. I don't know. I've got to finish cleaning. Pulled a bunch of this jade plant out down at the bottom of it. Just a lot of general cleanup to make this all look nice and neat. And again, back up in that tree there, I was going to say a pole saw is something really nice to have, because you can really reach up there, and it's got that string and basically clippers at the top, and you use the string to remotely chop the branches off so I can get way the heck up there. And I just pulled a really big one, and I've managed to cut it down into a bunch of tiny little pieces and stuff it into a garbage can. So our regular green can, our green waste can, is already full. So I'm filling these up. We've got 3 of these for backup, and then eventually we'll get caught up. If nothing else, we've got a neighbor. We can borrow their green can. They've got multiple green cans. I don't know why. The city provided us with one and provided them with like 3. So, but we'll figure that out. Okay, so I'm done for the day. I did quite a bit yesterday, so I didn't want to go too far today, but I think that's looking a little bit better. I can almost kind of see a pattern here where the jade plant's gonna kind of be a band going. I don't know if that's the right description, but anyway, I can kind of see where that might go. I didn't realize the jade plant was growing up into that tree, but now that I've kind of separated them a bit, it helps. And I've only trimmed so much of the tree. I can still see plenty of, as I come across here, I can see some of the tree growing down into the jade plant. So it's a question of how much of the tree do I cut, how much of the jade plant do I cut, and then trying to kind of clean up down here. I've still got, oh, there's a whole pile of stuff I forgot to, oh well, I'll get to that eventually. Then I still got all these planters along the wall, and I did pull out that one stem of the agave plant that was there, and I've now transplanted it in the side yard, so we'll cover that at some point. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. So this is the Budget Gardener signing off, saying may your thumb be green.